In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about alert views and activity views. And we're going to start by looking at alert views. An alert view allows you to display an alert message to the user, and you can set the title, the message, and any delegates you want to. And it displays modally, which means the user has to interact with it before they can carry on with the rest of the app. This is one of a range of different styles of alert views. You can have alert views which have simple buttons on them. You can have alert views which have one or more buttons. You can have alert views which allow the user to type some text in, whether it's plain text or a password text. And you can also have an alert view which pops up space for a username and the password. And we're going to look at each of these and explain how they work. The important thing about alert views is we have to have some way to respond when the user enters text and clicks on the button. And we have to implement the UI AlertViewDelegate. The delegate only has one method we need to implement, and the method is called AlertViewClickButtonAtIndex, and this allows us to detect which button's being clicked and to retrieve any text that's been typed into the alert view. So for a simple alert view, like the one you can see, we create a UI alert view object and we pass it the title we want, the message, we pass it self as the delegate so we can respond to the delegate method. There has to be a cancel button title, and then you can have one or more other buttons. In this example, other button titles nil means there's only the one cancel button. Once we've done that, we specify the style, which in this case is UI alert view style default. We tell it who its delegate is, and then we call the show method. If you want to create a more advanced version with more buttons, the process is almost identical. The only difference is that the other button titles property, you pass it the name of your title, you pass it the text you want to appear on the button, and then you put nil at the end to specify there are no additional buttons. Another useful style is UI alert view style plain text input. And as you can see for this example, it gives us a button and a text view to enter some text. So we change the style by changing the alert view style property to UI alert view style plain text input. Okay. We also have an array of text fields which contain the text that's going to be entered. In this example, there's only one, so we want to use index 0, and we can specify the keyboard appearance. And in this example, we've gone for a very light keyboard. So let's have a look at how we respond to buttons being clicked. So we have to implement AlertViewClickButtonAtIndex. We can use the button index parameter to detect which button's being clicked. So in this example, if button index is equal to 0, the OK button's being clicked, and we retrieve the message that's been stored in the text field, and we can display it in a log message or use it in the application. So a very similar style is what's called UI AlertView style secure text input. It works in exactly the same way. The difference is it obscures the text that's been entered in the text view. The final style is called UI AlertView style login and password. And as you can see from this example, it prompts the user for both a username and a password. And we can retrieve the two values by retrieving the username from text field index 0 and the password from text field index 1. The second topic we're going to cover in this video is action sheets. An action sheet presents the user with a set of alternatives of how to proceed with a given task. You can use action sheets to prompt the user to confirm a potentially dangerous action. You can have optional titles and buttons and respond to actions for each of the buttons. So here's a very simple example. We have a cancel button, a delete button, and an other button. And you've probably seen these on your iPhone. As with most of these controls, we have to implement a special delegate, and the delegate is called UI Action Sheet Delegate. And there is only one method, which is Action Sheet ClickButtonAtIndex, which works in a very similar way to the alert view. So in the example I'm showing you, we create a UI action sheet. We specify there's no title. We use the current view controller as its delegate. And we specify a cancel button title, a destructive button title, which is the one that's in red, and we can specify one or more additional buttons. And when we respond to the delegate method, we specify action sheet click button at index. The button index determines which button is being clicked, in a very similar way to the alert view.